Dave, your lad seems to be on fire for this one. Like I was saying to you before.
I thought he looked quiet there, if you want to know the truth.
Well, quiet compared to what he was before the other fight.
Yeah.
But I didn't realise this. You were talking before, and he was talking. It's a massive rivalry.
Football rivalry. You know, you've got Preston and Blackpool. Like if there's any one team that Blackpool want to beat football-wise, it's Preston and the other way around. You know, so it's massive, really. Yeah.
But you know Brian fairly well, though.
Yeah, I know Brian since he was probably 15. He used to come down before we had this gym. He came to the old gym. I used to pad him. He's his old trainer Andy Suddenly. You know, so I've known Brian a long while. You know, so yeah.
And how do you feel like about this fight then?
Because it's a fight, isn't it? You know, I mean, I like Brian. He's a good lad, but there's obviously an obstacle in my son's way to get to the top, so that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Because he was hoping for the Ted Cheeseman fight, wasn't he? But Ted seems to want to have a little comeback fight.
I think after that bad defeat against Garcia, I think
I understand.
You know, I spoke to Eddie, and Eddie said he just was off back of a loss like that, and he would like another fight before he fights Scott. And Eddie's given us his word that he's fighting Ted next. Obviously, if the Brian
the winner of
the Brian fight goes well. So. It's a busy year.
So there's again a big carrot dangling in front of Scott for this fight.
Well, there is, yeah. It's like I probably didn't need this fight, to be honest. And you know, when they said about it, I thought I was a bit reluctant to like say let's go for it. But end of the day, it's a fight, innit? If you know, I'm not saying Brian's overall because he's not, because he's still rating, but. You know, you've got to get past any hurdle, haven't you? So, to me, it's a fight. A fight's a fight, and he's got to get past Brian. He could be getting past anybody. If he wants to be the best middleweight in the country, then don't matter who he fights, does he? Just got to get over it.
And how will you keep him focused? Because he seemed to be very focused for the Andy Fowler fight. But I think the fact that he was a massive underdog with the bookies helped to focus him. Maybe he's not going to be a big underdog and probably the favourite in this fight after his performance against Anthony Fowler. So how are you going to be able to keep him focused when he gets in the ring, or is that not going to be an issue?
It's not an issue with Scott really. Once he goes through them ropes, you know, he's a different creature anyway. Leading up to it, you know, 2 weeks before, he just changes into a different person, and he always has done any amateur fight he's had. You know, he's sort of like Scott. Some fighters leaving in gym in the ring when they're sparring. Scott's completely opposite to that. When he gets through them ropes on the night, that's when he performs. Which is
the best way to do it.
Obviously, I'm glad about it that way. Yeah. So
it's no good,
you know, there's no real motivating him. All we can do, you know, we like to say we're going to Tenerife on Monday for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, there's a running track. Obviously, a boxing gym. You know, get him in the mills running and get him. I think we can get him fitter than we did for Fowler fight. Me.
Do you think we're just scratching the surface with Scott? Do you think this is really where his career is going to start from?
I'd say so, absolutely. Yeah, obviously you can see, you know, in your previous interviews he's come back down to earth a bit because he was a little bit off his head, the madman. But you know, he's come back. He's had a good think about what he's doing, and we're back on it. And I really do think that we still haven't seen the best of Scott Fitzgerald yet.
Do you feel that Scott potentially is world class?
He's definitely world class, you know. When his head's in the right place and the right fitness and so on and so on, a few fights down the road, I'm convinced he's. Because so does everybody else, not just me.
If we would have said that about Anthony Fowler before the fight, no one would have looked sort of silly because everyone believed that Anthony was going to be world class. So now he's beat him, and you know they've done similar stuff as amateurs together. You know, they both won the Commonwealth, both ABA champions. So realistically, why isn't it right to say that about Scott? Whether he could be world class or
anybody who knows about boxing, you know, like Mick Jennings, you know, like Dave Jennings. Anybody who we've dealt with, Collins, always said that Scott will be world class. I've always thought he can be world class, but obviously
he's your son.
So he's my son, and you've also, you know, you've got to adapt yourself to be world class. If you're messing around outside the ring, you're never going to be world class. But now we've finally got Scott on board, if you know what I mean. This is why I say we haven't seen the best of him yet. So now he's on board, we can turn him into.
You think the rivalry can bring out the best in him in this fight?
I think it's, like I said before, it's just a fight, and you know, it's an obstacle, and it could be Brian, it could be anyone else. You know, we know Brian, I like Brian, but it's still a fight, isn't it? He's got to get over that situation, and it could be anybody. You know, if Scott's going to move forward in this game, then it could be anybody in his next fight, and he's got to win that fight. End of.
I say he's got to keep on winning now, hasn't he?
That's right. Like I said, we're going to Tenerife. We've got good sparring. We're bringing Mark Jeffers out.
All right.
He's coming out for like 2 weeks, and to me, he's a class act, Mark. You know, he's good sparring, a tough lad. So, you know, if there's no sparring out there, we've got Mark, you know, to spar with.
Yep.
And I think Dave Jennings and Mike Jennings are come out for a weekend, you know.
Right. So it's going to be the old team all back together.
Yeah, there's always valuable information comes out of them too. So plus we have a laugh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no. I say I'm looking forward to this show on the July the 6th because there's a lot of Northwest interest in there. Just the 2 fights that I mentioned in the interview with your son in Jack Massey against Lawrence Okoli and Jack Cullen against.
I think Scott said he won't be the same year as.
Yeah.
So
and then you got Felix Cash against Manchester's Jack Cullen.
Well, I know Jack. Well, obviously he's fought twice with Scott, and to be honest, both of them fights, if the first one went ABAs, and if they'd give it Jack, I wouldn't have been moaning about that decision. Then he fought him again after Scott had won the ABAs, and once again it was like, you know, if they'd give that Jack, I couldn't complain about that decision. But obviously went Scott's way, which is good for Scott.
Yeah.
You know, but he's a tough lad, Jack. I like Jack. I think he'll go far in this game.
Amazes me how he still makes middleweight.
Well, it does me. I always said to Tommy Battle, you know, if he went up a weight, you know, he'd still do well. But
do you know something though? Just going back to the old fight with Anthony Fowler at the weigh-in, how good did your son look?
Well, we've done it right for a change, you know. I mean, he's been.
But I mean, he looked like he was like.
I mean, he came in 6 ounce. 6 ounce.
That's nothing, that though, is it?
No, but it was nothing. But we was mad because he'd been on scales twice that morning, and twice he was under. So we haven't had a drink and anything. And you know, he jumps on them scales, 6 ounce over, and I think Dave Caldwell was stood next to it, and like he spotted it, wanted him to lose them 6 ounce. Had to do it for the title anyway.
Yeah, of course.
You know, and to be quite honest, it didn't make much effort to lose it. No. You know, it just gone really.
Yeah.
And then we come back out. You know, he only went to the toilet, and then he come back out with 3 ounce over. Then we just did half a round, not pads, if you want to know the truth. And then weighed again, he was bang on. So Scott did the weight right, if you know what I'm saying. He wasn't drained. You know, we'd done it properly running up to that fight, and that's the first ever time you'll have seen that, which I think showed in the fight.
But you know, sometimes though, you can look at a fight and you can look at ill.
Well, Anthony Anthony looked.
Yeah,
he did. Anthony looked drained. I've known him for a long while, and you know, when I looked at him on them scales, it was a bit like.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me when Josh Warrington fought Lee Selby.
Yeah.
Josh looked absolutely magic at the weight, and Lee Selby looked really, really drained. And
that's right.
I think that was a bit similar on the night that Scott fought.
You know, he's a quality boxer, Anthony. I do think actually it would be better if he filled that frame up and went middleweight, because he'd still do well at middleweight. You know, maybe it is hard for him, I don't know, but you know, on the night, I think, you know, after the third round, I knew Scott.
Well, you know, if he doesn't and he does stay at that weight and he comes back winning, as I suspect he will, I was going to say that could be further down the line if Scott Kidron's winning titles. Then what a massive rematch that would make.
It is what it is, but this time it'll be for probably a bigger title.
Definitely.
I don't know, you know what I mean, but. I don't think
it certainly could be a will. If like say Anthony goes on and starts winning again and wins up titles, and same with Scott, then if they do meet again, it certainly could be a world title eliminator.
Yeah, of course it could. Yeah, hey, Anthony's not finished by nowhere.
No,
it was a good performance off him. Let's be honest. 2 judges, I think, only had him 1 point ahead, and you know, and I think Scott had a knockdown. So it was a close fight, you know.
Well, I thought it was 4 rounds to 6. Because he gave him the first 3.
Yeah, well, I knew.
Arguably give him the 9, but the 9.
I mean, Scott was coming back after those first 3 rounds, and I didn't say much to him. I didn't even tell him we were losing him. I knew we were losing him, but he weren't getting beat up in him. We were nicking him off him because he wasn't prepared to commit himself. But I just had this theory about Anthony that after the 3rd round he would tire, and when I looked at him in that 4th round, to me, his face, the pace were a bit too much for him, and I thought the weight's catching up with him here. And then I said to Scott, you know, you're going to have to get a bit closer, throw a few bombs at him, let him know you're there now, because he's actually nicked those 3 rounds, Scott, and he went right, and rightly enough he went out, you know, and started throwing a few bombs, and rest history, innit? So, anyway.
Well, listen, it's like say it's elevating now to a level where everyone wants to know what's going to happen next to him. So I'm looking forward to July the 16th, and whoever's topping the bill.
What's happening on July the 16th?
July the 6th. Hey, you see, you're making me nervous standing behind me. Get on with your dad, finish off with him.
What are you bloody up to on July 16th, Lee? Vincent?
Be out celebrating with you.
Watching your fight back.
Yeah. I might take off on an holiday just to chill for a week or two.
For another 9 weeks.
You're not going to be able to have that now. You're going to have to keep going with it, aren't you? Stay in the gym, stay ready.
When they're looking at fighting in September?
Don't know. Will that be the Cheeseman fight? Hopefully, if he comes through and you do.
Yeah, got to concentrate on my job, obviously. But yeah, and then I don't know. It depends how long I've got, doesn't it? What I do.
What do you want to do? Because if
in between, I mean, you know.
I think we better just carry on and get that Cheeseman fight out of the way, and then have that.
Then take rest at year off.
Yeah, so not a joke really, but then.
No,
and then see where we're at then.
I got a baby up there arriving in October. Yeah, baby, it's a boy, like. So. Till we have a buzz with him. Say for fight September or early October.
Do you know if it's boy or girl? Did you say?
It's a boy, yeah.
A boy.
Yeah.
Any names?
Yeah.
David what?
Willie Fitz.
Willie Fitz and what?
I'm going to call him William. I'm going to call him Willie though. Willie Fitzgerald, like Willie Fitz type thing.
After his granddad, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, Williams after like a lot of my family on my mum's side. There's loads of Williams.
His middle name's William.
Yeah, my middle name's William. Yeah, there's a lot of Williams. I've got an uncle William. My granddad called William.
Great granddad.
My great granddad was as well. But I call him Billy, like Uncle Billy.
How do we get Billy from William? How did that happen?
That's why I'm just going to keep it simple. Call it Willie.
They're all Scottish, that side of the family as well.
Yeah, well I'm half Scottish, aren't I?
He is.
Yeah, my mum's is Scottish.
Is that where the ginger is in your beard, mate?
Well,
the Scottish side of it.
I tried to keep it out of there anyway, that ginger bit. So.
He's English with Scottish mum and an
you have to
name.
filter that on video. Can you filter that ginger out, pal?
No, mate, I can't. Listen, good luck for the 6th and the 16th when we watch it back.
Yeah. We're going out.
And I'll see you on the night if I don't see you before then.
I'll ring you up on 16th and say, get round my house now for a brew. I want an interview. Me and me dad.
Bring cans.
See you later, lads.
See you later.
Thanks,
For all boxing info, news and latest interviews, amateur and pro, across the north, click and subscribe. VIP Boxing Promotions. Also, Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.